Good day. I'm Cadet Chief Master Sergeant White. I'm going to explain to you the 6-step drill teaching method, which is a step-by-step procedure used for teaching drill movements. Step 1. First, you're going to name the drill movement you're going to be teaching your flight. Then you're going to explain the purpose of that drill movement. Then you're going to state the preparatory command and the command of execution, or point out if it's a combined command. Then you're going to demonstrate what that command sounds like. Second step, going to demonstrate what that command, that drill movement looks like using proper cadence and commands. Third step, you're going to explain in more detail and demonstrate how, step by step, what that drill movement looks like. Then for the fourth step, you're going to ask your flight questions and give more clarity if needed. With your fifth step, you're going to have the flight perform the drill movement and give on-the-spot corrections. And finally, for your sixth step, you're going to critique the individual cadet's performance and the flight as a whole, and review any key points you want the flight to remember. Now I'm going to demonstrate using this method by teaching the drill movement column left arch. Flight forward. At ease. Today we're going to be learning the drill movement column left arch. This movement is used to turn the flight 90 degrees to the left in column formation. There's two commands to this movement. First one is column left arch. We're going to get to that second command later on. The preparatory command is column left, and the command of execution is arch. It sounds like this. Column left, arch. Column left, arch. Now, each element is going to do something a little different during this drill movement, so I'm going to start by demonstrating what the first element is going to do. First, I'm going to get you guys in column formation. Flight ditch up. Right, haste. At ease. All right. I'm going to demonstrate what this very first element on the far left flank is going to do. Eyes. Forward. Arch. Hut. 2, 3, 4. Hut. 2, 3, 4. On left. Arch. Hut. 2, 3, 4. Hut. 2, 3, 4. Flight. Halt. Now, something you may have noticed is I immediately went half steps. Not immediately. After my pivot, I took one more full step, but then I went half steps. In order to get out of half steps, you're going to hear the command forward arch, but I'll continue teaching you about that later. Something else you may have noticed is when I pivoted 90 degrees to my left, I suspended my arm swing. So as I pivoted, my arms were pinned to my sides. Once I took another step, I resumed my arm swing. I'm going to perform this again for you guys. Forward, arch, hut, 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4, column block, arch, hut, 2, 3, 4, forward, arch, flight, halt. As you noticed, when I said forward arch, I took one more full step, and then, one more half step, and then I proceeded in full steps again. The movement column, during the movement column left, it's kind of like following the leader. So everyone behind the first element leader is going to pivot in the exact same spot as the person in front of them did. Does that make sense?
Yes, Chief!
Right. Do you have any questions so far? So we're going to move on to the other three elements. They pretty much do exactly what the first element did, except for a few things. First, they're going to be pivoting 45 degrees, not 90 degrees. So, for example, the second element is going to pivot 45 degrees, take 2 steps, and then pivot another 45 degrees. The third element is going to pivot 45 degrees, take 4 steps, and then pivot another 45 degrees. The fourth element is going to pivot 45 degrees, then take 6 steps, and then pivot 45 degrees. Once they have pivoted, they're going to continue marching in full steps until they catch up with the element on their left, and only when they're aligned will they start going into half steps. I'm going to demonstrate this for you guys now. As if I was in the second element, so I'm going to take 2 steps. Forward, arch, hut, 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4, column left, arch. Forward, arch, flight, halt. As you may have noticed, as I pivoted 45 degrees, I continued my arm swing throughout. I never stopped swinging my arms. Now, this applies to all 4 elements, the entire flight. Once the entire flight has changed directions and has gotten aligned, the command forward arch will be given. You're going to take one more step after the command of execution, one more step in half steps that is, and then resume taking full steps. Is that understood?
Yes, Chief!
Good. One last thing to point out is when you're performing the movement column left, make sure you're going to be aligning yourselves with the most left flank on the very left. Once the command forward arch is given, you're going to resume aligning yourselves with the flank on the right side. Does that make sense?
Yes, Chief!
Alright, sounds good. I'm going to just review and remind you guys, the second element takes 2 steps in between pivots, third element takes 4, and fourth element takes 6 steps in between pivots. I'm going to ask you guys a little quiz real quick. If you're in the first element, how many pivots would you be taking? How many pivots would you take if you're in the first element? Yes.
1 step.
That is correct. You're only going to do 1 pivot, and that pivot is how many degrees? Yes.
90 degrees, Chief.
That's correct. Alright. Sounds like you guys are ready. You guys are going to perform this drill movement.
Flight, touch, up!
Forward, arch, hut, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. Arm left, arch. Forward, arch. Flight, halt. Alright, that looked really good. Great job remembering to go straight into half steps. Just make sure when you're pivoting that your arms are staying pinned to your sides. Do you have any questions on what we just did? Okay. Before we move on, I just want to review some key points that I want you guys to remember. Make sure that if you're in the first element, you basically perform a right flank, pivot 90 degrees, and then after one more step, you immediately go into half steps. And then if you're in the second element, you take 2 steps in between your 45-degree pivots. Third element, you take 4 steps. Fourth element, you take 6 steps in between pivots. And then once you catch up with the rest of the flight and are all aligned, you go into half steps until the command forward arch is given. Take one more step and resume your full steps. Any more questions concerning this drill movement? Alright, that's it.